Hey guys, it's Cray here with another Donkey Kong Country Returns video, and in this part we'll be finishing up in World 6 and moving on to some of World 7. Not all of it though, just mainly like first two levels. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're at 6B, and I remember quite a bit about this level actually, surprisingly. This level is very vertical. You're mainly just focused on getting off of these rocks here and jumping off of crumbling platforms while shooting upwards. Very basic premise. Sure, you don't miss any Kong letters like that K. That's easy to miss if you're not paying attention. You're just focused on jumping. So yeah, this level really focuses you to and tries to make you focus on what's going on around you and can distract you from the Kong letters pretty easy. So yeah, be aware of your surroundings if you want all the Kong letters here. Like that O, that one's pretty hard to miss because of where it's placed, but yeah, this one's a little bit risky. You gotta be careful. You can get hit there like I did if you're not paying attention, and makes it challenging later on when you replay this level, but getting it the first time is really easy. Okay, shoot yourself out and just keep moving. This level, there's not a lot to say about it because it's basically the same thing the whole time. This is a little bit different though. This is like watch where you're firing and then just be careful where you fire, which is pretty simple. Don't spend too long though because you have limited time with these platforms like constantly crumbling, so you want to be careful. Once you get in the barrels, you're safe to wait a little bit, and then you just need to make sure your shots line up, which isn't too bad. Bounce into this one and make sure you get that G, but also when you're doing it, make sure you don't just focus on the G, otherwise you'll probably fall and won't make it. This is easy, just wait for the barrels to get into a good spot you can line up to shoot, and then shoot yourself upwards. This ending segment, not too bad. If you don't time it right, you will get hit, but there you go, you reach the barrel and you're done. Easy enough. Level can be a pain if you're not paying attention, but it's pretty simple altogether. Okay, and now for 6K. This level was really painful to play through, not fun at all. It's not the worst level in the game. I don't even know if I'd say the worst K level, but it does suck. This level is just irritating. It gets way worse when you replay it too, but right now, even still, it's annoying. Like, it's hard to describe this level exactly. Like, the rushing lava makes this level a panic, but it only gets worse the more you play it. You'll see exactly what I mean in just a bit. Like, these saw blades or whatever they're supposed to be, I'm not really sure because I haven't been able to get a very close look at them. They are like a constant source of damage you need to avoid. There's falling platforms you have to jump onto and watch their timing. There's like so many obstacles in this level, and it's just a gigantic overload. And this level sucks because of it. It's probably not the hardest, but it's definitely one of the most annoying and unfun levels in the whole game, easily. Just jump up this set of platforms. Really, there's not a whole lot I can say other than keep your wits about, because this level requires that. Also, if this level wasn't already annoying enough, you get these little electric things following you around later. And now you gotta keep up with dodging them. Fortunately, after a little while, they'll die on their own, but you need to reach a certain point in the level. Then, in just a little bit after this falls, though, they'll be replaced, so don't get your hopes up too high. You're going to be chased again. And here's the first one. I believe there's a second one, or maybe it was just this one. Actually, no, I believe it was just this one after all, but it's annoying. You got to be careful and time your jumps to try to jump over it. Precision. Not fun. This thing makes this level a real pain. This level just kind of sucks. But you're getting close to the end. Just keep jumping over it. Be very careful. And since you have Diddy probably on your first time, make sure you use Diddy to stay away from it. And once you reach that barrel, you're home free and you've beaten it. There you go. 6-K. Really annoying level. And now for the infamous boss from World 6. His name is Thugly, and that name sounds familiar. It's because it's supposed to, because it's based off of the first boss, Mugly. It's basically an upgraded version, and he is pretty hard, actually. I would say this boss is, I don't know, probably the hardest boss in the whole game. It's like a lot of bosses in this game are fairly challenging, I suppose, but this guy is pretty bad. Okay, I'm gonna stay quiet here. Alright, and there you go, boss fight started. Like I said, this guy should look familiar because he's literally the first boss only upgraded. And he is a lot harder. Like, just beating him normally the first time isn't too bad, but he is still pretty rough. Like, it's not that surprising if you lose to him on your first attempt because he messes with you. His first phase is fairly simple. Still harder than all of Mowgli's phases combined, but not that challenging. Just gotta watch his patterns and avoid him, and don't jump too early because of that whole overheating his shell thing, so you're kind of wanting to wait until that shell is completely out of the way so you can land on his back. It's best to wait until you know that he's going to keep his backside exposed. For 3 hits, you initiate phase 2. Make sure you're in the center ground so you'll fall, and then you reach this bridge. Piece of advice, duck down now. Just stay ducked down, and he's going to breathe some fire at you. Once he's done, you should be safe to unduck. Okay, yeah, make sure you're ready to jump here. You're ready to probably 2 or 3 times because he does that quite a lot. As long as you can get your hits, though, you should be good. Okay, here you need to be ready to jump and just get out of the way, but if you don't have access to a jetpack, it's best to just have a roll jump done like right before he takes off, and you should be able to dodge it even still. Here, just get out of the way and jump. Same basic little wave there, and you gotta avoid that. It gets faster each phase, so be careful. Breathe another breath of fire like right before you get the 3rd hit, so be careful. There's your chance to get the 3rd hit. I messed it up. He'll give you another chance though. It's all about just being patient and waiting it out. Be careful. And what he's doing right there is an attempt to hit you, and it can work pretty carefully because it'll give you no room to turn around. Alright, and now we reach the last phase. Just kind of get in the middle again and let him break the bridge and fall with him. This is where things get a little weird and really interesting. Instead of doing what he did last time, he does something similar where you think he's gonna like start off with the laser. Instead, he does this weird fire breath attack. It's best to try and just be careful. I don't know exactly how to avoid it. I believe if you get closer to him, it's harder for him to hit with it, but I'm not certain about that, so can't really give any advice on that for sure. Now he's doing his fire breath and dodge. So remember, the fire breath on the 3rd phase comes like right after the first bonk. Be careful. Same basic strategy. Try to lure him into falling early so you can pounce on him, and then you've got 1 more hit left. First time you fight him, he's not too rough, honestly, even if he is probably the toughest boss in the game. Okay, that, like I said, that little wave he made there is the fastest it gets here, and it's easy to get hit by it if you're not paying attention. Here, that same attack happens, the fire, just gotta be careful. And now, pretty soon, he'll give you a chance to finish him, and there you go. Alright, and that was Fugly. Not too bad. Still tough, really tough I'd say, but once you learn his pattern, it shouldn't be too bad. And now we'll be moving on to World 7. I'll just let the cutscene here for the transition play out now. Alright, now we're moving on to World 7 Factory. with the first level, Foggy Fumes. I believe this level involves lots and lots of silhouettes. Okay, yeah, I was right. So, basically a lot like the other silhouette levels, you want to watch what you're doing and try to make sure you're careful. Like, watch your environment, jump when you know you're safe to, like, make sure you're observing where enemies or where obstacles are placed at, and jump accordingly to make sure you don't get hit. That cave was really easy and easily placed. You just have to rotate the fan blades a little bit. Here, be careful. These guys are kind of hard to dodge. Not like super hard. They do have a pattern, so go under them when they're high and just be careful otherwise. This is, well, that's completely optional. You need to go up there unless you just really want that token. I don't know why I bothered, because I didn't really need it. Keep going. Easy to hover over these guys, but you have the right amount of air time and you have enough of a height advantage. I kind of messed up there and wasn't careful with what I was doing, so yeah, I naturally got hit. I'm not entirely sure I went backwards here. Oh yeah, the Diddy barrel, because getting hit was something that was worrying me a little bit. I don't remember why exactly. I just remember that I did not want to lose Diddy. I believe that's because Diddy makes these jumps easier. Like, see that O? There are some segments in this level that I'm pretty certain get a little challenging, so having the jetpack is pretty useful. See that crane? Just be kind of careful and jump at the right time. Jetpack will probably help you out there a little bit. Kind of watch where you're going, though. The fog can obscure the platform, so you need to be careful where you're jumping. Here, just wait on the tiki and jump on it, or you can roll past it. And be careful not to get hit by this guy. And keep moving, follow the same exact pattern there. It's hard if you need it. I went for it because, yeah, I didn't really want to lose Diddy. Keep moving. This is where things are a little tricky, because if you're not careful, you probably will get hit by that thing and fall down to your doom, so want to get it as high up as you can safely, and then get in the barrel quickly before it lowers again. There you go. And this is just watching, trying to line up the pattern and jump. This is just jump and go, and you know the platform, or the platforms are, know the timing. Fog makes this level a little annoying because it's obscuring parts of the level, but it's not that bad. Pretty sure this is close to the end of the level. You can see the end there. Just let this thing bounce backwards and then get past it when you know you're safe. Make sure you're careful. I've lost Diddy because I wasn't paying attention. There's your checkpoint. Make sure you're careful to get up there if you don't have him, because you might need to do a roll jump like I did. You might be able to do it without it, though. I haven't really thought about it too much either. All these levels are built to work fine with or without Diddy, though, so just keep that in mind while you're playing. G is easy. You just got to be careful to not get hit by those little blades while you're going, so that's why I kept moving as fast as I could while watching and jumping. And then when you get close to the G, I did a roll jump so that way when you reach it, you have the option to like just grab it by a rolling and never losing any momentum. So that's a thing I can recommend while you're doing that. So you have to hit that button in order to reach the end of this here. And pretty simple level, you've beaten it. It's all about being careful and observant there. Now we're moving on to 7-2, which is the last level I cover in this video. Alright, and you can see the fans have been activated and they push away the fog. This level actually has a whole lot to do with buttons. It's kind of hard to describe it, but you'll see what I mean in the next video, so don't worry, we'll go to that when we get to it. This is 7-2 Slam and Steel. Let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, this level has a lot of things trying to crush you, and you're constantly on the go too, I believe, so just kind of watch what you're doing, watch when you're safe to move, and don't get hit by those giant mashers or whatever they are. Jump when you get a chance, keep going. Be careful not to hit these little electrical things either. It's not too bad, it's really just watching. Try to get one of these chicken robots and use it to bounce off of it and get up there where the O's at, because you're probably going to need one to reach it. I had to go backwards And I used that roll jump to get up there because I didn't have them. You might be able to pull that off too if you try, so don't feel discouraged if you break them both. Keep going, just watch and jump if you know you're safe, and don't be too patient though, because if you do, you probably will get hit. Went up here because I just wanted to, and I figured this was safer. So you can do that, and there's a puzzle piece for you too. This is the part that's kind of dangerous. You want to jump, you gotta try and get in these holes here. I messed up the first one, but the idea is to rush to the holes and then quickly just stay put in place and wait until you know you're safe and then move. Sure you know where you're going though before you keep going. This, just let it move. Get up, then quickly get off. Really simple. The end, you probably should be a little more careful than I was. Like, if you're doing this with Donkey Kong, it's better to approach it while you're on the lower treadmill and then go over to it from the right and then jump on it when the little electrical things aren't there. This is kind of difficult, not too bad though. Same as before, only the difference is you've got these little electrical things in the way, so you want to be ducking a lot and trying to make sure you're not hit by the electricity. Okay, here, this is easy. Just watch what you're doing and jump when you know it's safe. Don't jump when you're about to get hit by the electricity. Then jump out, and at this last stretch, it's basically just jump when you know you're safe to go. It's about being fast and being careful, which isn't too bad. Recommend grabbing that heart because it's not too hard to mess up on this segment. Keep going. Just jump before you get the chance to get hit by these things. You can see your G there. Jump on this thing and try to avoid getting hit, and then just go for the G. And there you go. You've got your last of the Kong letters for this level. Now get on this tire, but not until you see these things close, and then you can go up safely. I got impatient there and I paid for it. So don't do that. Just wait until you know you're good. Then jump. Once you get up to where these last three are, just go. You'll be fine. And you've reached the Kong, or not the Kong barrel vein, just the barrel. And you're at the end of the level. It's not too hard. Anyway, that covers all of World 7 that I did in this video. All I had left was I just went and got the key, so we'll be starting this back up in the next video at 7-3. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.